Hey, queer stars. Back with my friends Camas, arbutus, oak, cleavers. Talking about what's holding us and what we're holding and what good ways of holding are, what sick ways of holding are, and seen and unseen. It's important to get messages though from in that duality of like seen and unseen and stuff. Relationship helps that. That's why we fall in love and have love and court relationship. It's what holds us. It is the most important thing. And when we face death, when we face near death, when we do die, that's what always is shown to us. And being someone who's had a lot of funerals while they've been alive, I've really gotten to see who has me. And at least one of the silver linings of my life has been that I have built intimacy with people through those. As much as I've destroyed it, it's been an interesting intimacy I've held. I've held a special role as someone who got sick a lot and had to heal things. Really, because I held an extreme ritual as an identity of merging polarity and bridging that which was unseen and erased. And the ways that danced with the seen and the known, which is what sort of consensus reality operates on and stuff, and a lot of cisgendered heteronormative reality, and a lot of reality that erases the magical. Like I'm actually sentient and empathic, so I'm like feeling and getting a lot of information. I have ADHD and I'm just really neurodivergent, so I get a lot of information. I get feelings, I get images, I get messages. It means 10 things to me at once because I've got a bunch of threads of storyline where I'm processing history, personal, family, and soul level past life and this personal present environment that's just my body in a social field. I just bled all that to you, but I'll think that in 1 minute. I have that concept in one moment, and I'll have many others at that. And I'm always trying to catch up with my environment, choose which one to explain. Sometimes I'll pick pieces from five, and it ends up this really confusing muck for people. It's intense to feel that pregnant with potential in myself of all these active threads. And they're an amazing dynamic thing, and I need to make more space for myself as an artist because I do believe that's where this thrives. I've become aware that plants were the first place I could kind of get into that so safely. Romance was another. It could be like a really multiplicitous self with all these big energy conversations open, and it could ground somewhere and just co-regulated body. That was also part of it. So the garden, the physical garden for me has been where I heal of that. And food, I love food. So I'm co-regulating with the physical through beauty languages of Taurus, the garden, really, through the sensual and the love. That's what's helped me, and I see that. Whew, this is a bold statement and really sad. That's an understatement. There's like in the wave of colonial extractive industry and genocide of empire of my peoples and the peoples of the earth. A similar consumption desire. And I want to honor that everything that's sick is attempting to heal. And I'm not dismissing or excusing what sickness does or looks like in the horrors. It's awful. And I feel that really as a survivor who's been on all sides truly and who holds a lot of the most horrible sick, which is actually from the colonial empire side. You know, I'm even a male too. I could have escaped it. I was born female, but I'm not. I'm male. So I have this karma, this I have something to bridge with my experience in sanctuary being raised in the feminine and with a predominantly estrogenic body still in my constitution quite a lot, right? Even though I take testosterone to grow a beard and have this more testosterone dominant chemistry, I I've been heavily influenced as a bridge to the feminine. So I recognize I'm bridging like the best and the worst, the violence and the peace, two sides of Venus, and that's my job. And I've been very sick in that middle squiggle. And I've done a lot to seek the remedy, and I see that a lot of the ways I've sought it have caused just as much harm, just as much as they've healed. It's been about 50-50, right? Both. because I came here to live that bridge really extremely, right? Even with the genders, I'm like, I'm both. I'm like, I evolved. I was like always super manly. I'm like super manly. People are like, you're trans? Wow. You were a girl? What? I'll even tell people I'm trans and they just don't believe me. They're like, what? But they just don't have any exposure to queer people, so they just literally boop can't process it. It's interesting to be something that people can't process, that's right in front of them. They literally don't like. They're like, what? I'll be like, well, I have to go get, checked out for cervical cancer cells. I got to go get a biopsy. And they're like, what? Cervix? You don't have a cervix? I'm like, yeah, I do. They literally don't believe. They just are like, what? Isn't that wild? It's funny to be someone, and if you don't know many trans people and you're just hearing this, or like, you've known me, but you just don't think about this. Like, think about how weird it is for trans people to be something that others around them don't believe in. Before I transitioned, and I was just trying to explain through language, like, call me Z, call me he, but I wasn't passing with a beard, and so, like, they couldn't. They just wouldn't. They'd be like, okay, I respect that, but they, like, wouldn't. They couldn't. They couldn't make that mental leap from what they could see and know in programming. They couldn't, unless they were queer. So I just really had to hang out in the queer sanctuaries for healing and just define, like, what my systems and structures and forms are with that community of healing. And that's awesome, you know? And I think, like, now I can speak to it a little better and maybe find this platform where you're ready and you can pause and stop and digest and, like, have your own space of this. And I really have a platform and have a one way where I can, like, share, because this stuff doesn't come up in conversation and maybe you don't have time to think about it. But when you need to be comforted by queer reality, you can come here and try to internalize, like, everything that's been left out and deemed impossible, and how that's limited what people have believed is happening in themselves and other people. Literally, it's like a veil. You can just, like, pull it off and see, just like you can pull it off and see everything's alive in this animist garden. These buddies can talk to you. You've got a whole myriad of diversity in your inner garden. Your astrology chart is a map of your genders. And, fire is more masculine, water is more feminine, air is a little more masculine than fire, earth is a little more masculine than. Wait, air is a little more feminine than fire, and earth's a little more masculine than water, but they're, like, a little towards the middle. And that's a spectrum. There's also cardinal fixed mutable. Again, cardinal is more masculine, mutable is more watery and feminine, and the fixed have both. There's just, in the astrology wheel, it goes masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. There's 6 and 6, and they interweave. Same as in Taoism, where you've got the same, the 12 and the channels and the pairs of them, 6 channel pairs. And they meet in the hands, meeting with the feet, and there's the 6 channel pairs. Although you're saying, wait, there's only 10. Well, that's because the heart has these 2 that are mysterious. But the 6 channels do come in and out of the fingers and toes. They do. Even though there's 5 digits, the 6 channels come in and out of the fingers and toes. But there is both. The 5 and the 6 are both important. The 10 and the 12. And that has to do with Jupiter. And if you're a tarot reader and you're a numerologist, you know what I'm talking about. This is the place of the feast and the medicine wheel when you get to that place of completeness of 10 and 12. And, like, you stand in the middle and you're all of it. And so this is why I bring forward queerness as a medicine itself. And for my queerness, I had to seek the medicine of the natural world and traditional medicine to show me and bring back to me that mirror I was seeking. I was seeking it in the popular culture and in the world, but actually I found it most right where they said it didn't exist, which was in the ancestors. Oh, well, there's just this and that gender. And they think also heteronormatively about it, especially in gender essentialist, like, health environments where they really get into this. They get so into, like, ooh, like, really heteronormative, like, super. The crazy thing is even the botany, the plants, they've got a lot of different gender stuff. Some genitals are over here and there, some have both, some have it on a tree over there and then matches this tree. It's really mixy. We are so mixy, and it's ancient how we have it all in us, and how the ancient systems show us that is amazing. And even in our traditional religions, Jesus, the Buddha, like very non-binary. Very non-binary. Revered for being non-binary. We don't talk about that, you know. It needs to be talked about. I'm pretty sure Jesus' sister Mary Magdalene was a tomboy, kind of femme tomboy. Sure, she didn't have to be trans like me, not tomboy to this extent, but I think she was a femme tomboy, and it's the other gender. In Taoism, there's something called yin and yang, which are the solstice of winter and summer. They're the most extreme, dark and light. Okay, there's dark and light, but look what else there are. There's waxing darkness, and that's the spring equinox, and waning light, and that's the fall equinox. I'd say waxing darkness is like the tomboy gender, and you can feel into that for yourself. And waning light is like the sissy gender of the fall equinox. And you can feel the astrology energies, and you'll see what I mean. It's just a little more Aries, and you get a ram in a bull, and you get like spring energies really masculine kind of in a way, but a fresh new way, innovative way. And all the medicine plants grow there, and in the Celtic world all these medicines grow, and it feels like a mixture, like my gender. Like it's masculine and it's awakening out of dark, though. It's like steeped in it, and it's got this way where it's different, and it bridges, and it has this both. Anyways, that queer gender I think is tomboy, butch, androgynous. Is really beautiful. Warrior gender, really beautiful. Artist gender, healer gender, and a lot of people of my genders are healer, warrior, artists. We do community work, social work. We're, in terms of healing, we're teachers. That's like the medicine of that. All the medicine plants often grow in the spring, in that rush, in that flush of spring waters, and visionary energy. And that's what a lot of the roles of that gender are. If you know dykes in your life, they're holding the consciousness usually of their family system, and that younger brother, Aries, Taurus, that part of the zodiac bridging from Pisces, Aries, Taurus, that's like holding the spring equinox, is bridging an old wisdom that wants to come through and rebel. And that part of life is the spark of it. It keeps it going. It's very fox-like, you know, can get out of the trap of the ancient and keep life going. And it's a very important masculinity that's bridging with a deep wisdom, and I'd say healthy masculinity that might reside more in this like full solar expression of manhood really is challenged to temper with this other kind of masculinity that bridges from this place of wisdom and limitation and refinement there. There's some amazing nourishment there in that bridge place for my genders to actually bring health and wellness to masculinity and femininity. And okay, opposite it is the sissy gender of the waning light. And feel that limp wrist saying, yeah, Libra, Virgo, and Scorpio, that whole like area over there of the fall equinox. I mean, Scorpio gets more into the Samhain energies, but it's just more Libra, Virgo. It's like really divine, beautiful, and artful, and all about this like big potluck and party, and like all the weddings and reunions and coming back to school. And you know how there's like all of the rituals of coming together, you know, all the proms and the dances and the events of gathering people together, that sisterhood energy does, and that like family energy, so strong party and gathering energy, feasting energy in the sisterhood of the sissy gender of the fall equinox, of the waxing or the waning light. Anyways, those are, you know, where you got light, dark, waxing, dark, and waning light. Those are the four, and they relate to astrology too. So you can look at in these energies, these four genders that exist, and actually it does make a wheel, which is either the medicine wheel of the 10 in the tarot, or I'd say a place of completeness where you have all 12, because there's 3 of these crossroads, and that makes 12 through the 3 modes. I just explained the cardinal ones and the solstices and equinoxes. That's Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer, in the solstices. But I feel like we're really dealing with transmuting ancestral patterns out of the equinox gates a lot, because that's Cancer, Capricorn, and that the solstices really challenge the limits that happen between the dualities of the gender, and we all meet in the middle in that bridge space, which is an Aquarian space where the well tender lives, a bridges land, the ancestral deity, bridging reality. And we get to be that bridge. We get to land in the heart, in the center, and look at our whole chart and everybody else's as a map of their queerness and realize we're queer. And that the old ancestral medicine knew trans and queer people were really helpful and often were healers and served community in different roles of that, because we could see this and we experienced it so much. We had to exist. So we couldn't kind of explain things really naturally. And in order to be queer and trans, I think we are really kind of naturally bridging dualities of polarity as a community service, just as a way of being. That's just a part of our destiny and purpose as queer and trans people. So I'm trying to give myself a platform for that, and hopefully you're receiving something from this that helps you relate to your wholeness, relate to others, see the wholeness around you, and be nourished by that. That's my purpose. So if you consume this and you internalize this and you run with this and take it into the wild of your life, just like I might eat nettle plants and do that with mine and honor nettle, like if you consume me, and like if I become like nettle and become the medicine plant that is the medicine and offering into the pot for another's healing, like, and you take it, run with it through your wilderness, I will be so exalted, and that will ripple. Like what I'm putting out here, running through your families, and what that puts out and runs through and runs back, this whole current and tides changes the world. We are moving so much by this exchange of offering and gifting and feasting and consuming. And it looks in so many ways. And the fact that you came here to do this with me and receive this, it's healing me. I'm having to give because it heals me to give. And I want to share this with people, because literally, if they have $1 billion, they're sick. That's actually sick. That's sick. It is. That's sick. And so, like Cleavers knows, if you have too much stuff, you need to clear it out. That's backed up. And so that's going to cause a lot of curses. But as much as, or it contains a lot of curses, so if you hold it, that's just too much. So you need to move it and spread it around, because we all in our diversities have a way better time with redistributive economies handling the curses that are in money. So let's deal with that together and not leave it like some people just sick, stuck hoarding it and have no idea and totally out of relationship, right? We need that to come out, because what you give and is consumed comes back 3 times and heals all those ancestry. So if that person who's got $1 billion gives most of it, then it's going to come back to them 3 times for one. So it doesn't matter. They might think, oh, I'm afraid I gave it all away. Yeah, but you gotta pay to save, man. You gave it away, and what comes back 3 times? That's the universe works. So if you give away most of your billions to this huge wave that can handle it and heal with it, that's literally gonna come back. That is economics. If economics could run on spiritual rules like that, we would rebuild the planet, the health system, and have way more fun. We would empower all the poor, broken healers of the world. We would all end up having more art, more sex. That's better. Everybody wins, because that's what's the best thing for all of us, to be in healthy love and relationship and have like the best purpose lived out here and expressed, feel beautiful. Anyways, it's really true. We can have that and have it even in our families, have these like almost just feel like we are living our spiritual collective purpose to have healthy families and to be that. Isn't that a wild idea? That's my wild idea. So if you consume it and help this wave spread, it's just by believing it and taking it and be like, wow, even as a meditation, because I meditate a lot on like the potential of things as a way of leadership and community. I've been imagining for years that we bridge duality of genders and see queerness everywhere and heal lateral violence. Because I think we could heal a lot of structures of violence and persecution if we did heal that. And we have a religion of diversity and honoring and working together to heal with the earth and realizing that we're dual with this and we get together over here, realizing it's our medicine and that's our medicine, and we work to make this all medicine. And I think we're getting there, with all being together as humans, like realizing we need to be with the earth. We are really getting there through our sickness. COVID was a wave of that and reckoning, and we're with the environment, and then we're dealing with our families and our relationships and our identities, so we can all cooperate to be team human, to get with the environment, which is the other sort of like cooperative relationship we're supposed to be in. And I think that's what we're doing through these eclipses and this big Scorpio full moon right in the middle of them. It's helping like us be that wish in community and be what community is wishing for, and then become the lover of the earth again, individually and collectively. And each person has a subjective role. You can study your astrology chart as your subjective role in that revolution, right? Yeah. What healer are you here to be? What sun in the garden? We all need every sun. And every other planet in there, right? It's like this light box sweeps through all the different myriads of it. We need all the different kinds. Every piece has a belonging. Everything has a voice and a leadership for the whole. And it's really important that you know what your son's leadership is. There's so many different ways to lead. We had corruptions and funny notions and lies about leadership. I think leadership exists everywhere. So embracing multiplicitous reality, right? Honoring the leadership of that which never speaks. Honoring the leadership of wordless reality when you just listen to your body as a leader and it has feelings. And I might actually just take us a tour around the 12 pi and just honor the leadership of everyone, just because it's an example, right? Of every part that we can integrate in each other and ourselves. Honor the leadership of Aries. The fire right there in the pubic bone. That pyre that always burns from home and burns the home down to become more at home. And in that paradox of that triangle, such sacred dancing. Aries jokes are tumbling through my mindscape right now about how the word identity, because spirit shows me jokes about how our subconscious name things and then it ends up being a joke. So identity, it's either I dancing titty or I dem titties. I am them titties. That's what my guides are saying. Ha ha ha. I am them titties. I am dancing titties. Pretty much. If you think about titties, they're some of the most great things and fun things in the universe, and Aries, thank God for you for that. And always are helping us to remind us of that and that which is rebellious, slutty, taboo even, and fun and sexy. And titties, what could be more of an example of that? I cut mine off. Can you believe that? To be a man though. See, my form of titties is being, dance them titties, dance them titties. It's my way. I sacrificed my man cans like an Amazon so I could be this trans titty. I'm a whole titty. This is my version of dancing titties. I am them titties. I know my identity. I dance the titties. Identity. I am it. I am them titties. I didn't need them. I can be a trans man version of it. I am them titties. Anyways, that's what identity is. It's what feels good to you and what you experience in that. It's experiential. And no one else can say what you are or not. You know it. Thank you, Aries. Yeah, your identity is like right now Aries is leading our collective evolution, and we just honor it right now, all of us forming our identity in subjective ways of joy and euphoria to just combat the dysphoria of lies of ancestral limitation and challenge that really like buried our identities. And anyways, our collective evolution is being really fed by that right now. So dance your titties. Yes, I am them titties. Dancing. And Taurus, thank you for being the garden. Thank you for being medicine. Thank you for being the leadership that we can return to beauty. That it's absolutely a religion to have a body and to be the body and to be with other bodies. It's sacred. Thank you for helping us to remember the most essential thing and for being that memory. That leadership is so important. Everywhere we all have Taurus is where the memory lives. And what is remembered truly is living. It's where the garden grows, and it's where we feel that and get to be in that peace. God, it's making me so emotional today. Oof. Thank you, Taurus. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the opportunity to have a body and have feelings and be with other bodies that have feelings and that feel good. And to have a feast doing that and to be in that remembering of that pleasure feast. Thank you for that sanctuary of that place where it is medicine and feels good in this feast. Oh, Taurus is the medicine. Ruled by Venus of the body. So it's quite amazing. And we're almost in Taurus season. No, we are in Taurus season. Haha, stuck up on me. It's the 22nd today. Woohoo! I'm a 22 person, so I'm a 222. But this is lovely. Yay! Welcome, Taurus. It's so balancing to feel our medicine so alive in the world and love. And then Gemini, thank you for your leadership and being just so brilliant and reminding us that we need friends and to be like that we just have to just be here for our friends and be a good friend, that we're not really doing anything else but that. And that there's like really from that our greatest inspiration, and to live from that, you guys are just always living in the remembering of like what having inspired friendship is, and just in that party, in that flow. So amazing what you guys are here to lead. It's all about that. And when those of us that have died, actually, I've had a lot of disorganized attachment. And so I've sacrificed a lot of those friend connections. It's been very painful. And I'm very aware of the Gemini medicine that restores the pollinator economies of relationship in community. It is so important what Gemini's doing. And so thank you for that, remembering that gift of leadership, pollinators of the garden. We need that energy in us, that creative spirit, that youth. Yes. Forever. Yes. Our friends, our loves, communities. It's a community. It's a, yes. All the pollinators of life. Yes. All the friends. It's the Ark of the Covenant, the friendship, the diverse rainbow in the Gemini garden of pollinators. It's so lovely. It's the orgy. Thank you, Gemini, for that multiplicity magic in us. That's the leadership. And then thank you to Cancer for being that beautiful home of ocean, of knowing in this dream body. Is my evolution. I have a Cancer North Node, and I really feel this dream language body in my Pisces waters. All the thank you, Cancer, for the leadership of home and family as we return to like just feeling our bodies and healing, and what that healing is. Just having feelings in our water bodies. For being pregnant with life, for being the creator. So that which us that gestates, and in that knowing space of knowing knows so much, like a water just glowing with knowing, I don't know, and growing the life in it. Just this huge knowing. Thank you, Cancer, for that leadership. It's the final word. It's the whole, it's the truth. Everything's in there. Returning to what the body knows, hey? And grows through that sacred womb, that full moon, that lunar body. Thank you. Thank you, High Priestess. Chariot, this is what brings us home. What good leadership. What liberation to come home to the body everywhere. As creator, as a divine vessel of the creator. Thank you, Cancer, for catching the big truth of the summer solstice, which is this. We come home knowing that we are the vessel of the creator. No matter which body we are, maybe we're feminine and can have a womb, or we're masculine and we have an invisible womb, but we have this water body of the creator and this Cancerian memory, and that which lives in us is so sacred. Thank you. It's the mother in us all, in our family system. Thank you, Mother, Divine Mother, Leader. You do catch the big summer sun. I think you are the big main daddy. Any mother in the system knows everything revolves around it. Whatever mother says goes. She's holding the reins of the chariot in the tarot. That's the mother archetype. Thank you, Mother, for holding what's right, which is always some bridge between the head and the heart. And space to remember how to live and care for life. Come bearing gives. Give each life its life. Let each life have its life. And leave it better than you left it. Thank you, Cancer. That's a very mothering, nurturing ethic, and thank you for that leadership. And thank you to the mother and us all, so we can end the empires of lost man babies and lost orphans and really just like come home to this mother. Thank you, Mother. And come home to the mother and this mother. So this mother can be like, thank you, Mother. Every gender needs to do this. We have this mother inside that can care for life and be with other mothers really well from that understanding what it is to care for life. So we all need to care for animals. We need to care for plants. We need to care for relationships and people. That helps us all. It's really helpful for us to have men be able to have caring relationships. They can garden. They can have a pet. They can be on a team. Whatever is safe for them, right? To be a caregiver. That way, we can all then stand strong in that and knowing, and then empathy for this mother, and we can be with this good motherhood party. Okay, thank you, Cancer. It's coming home to the old ways there, Cancer. That's what it is. 13 grandmas, yes. They're our leaders. And that in us, that is that. Which is the astrology chart, which is all 12 and that 13 in the middle. So be with the 13 grandmas in your own inner council and that which is in the world, and we're good. Thank you for that leadership. It is the leadership. Thank you for being with the dream body in prayer and knowing that changes things. Thank you, Cancer. So much power there. It doesn't need to be proven. It's already created the world every day and still does and always will. Thank you, Cancer. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, dream body. You're the primary ruler. I see you. We are remembering you always. And after that, we have Leo, which is the sun that's birthed from that knowledge that I just described, goodness through Cancer. Maybe your son is baptized in those waters, and maybe you'll realize that you have a renewed thing there, being reborn through the waters, and that you are a son. Oh, I can be myself, just like any maternal inner healthy parented child would be, and that self is divine. Thank you, Leo, for being that self, that forever child that is just perfect you in its full expression. That party, playing with its friends, out in the world with the lovely people, shining, making the garden grow. None of it grows without you, Leo. You are the sun. As much as we just were baptized in the lunar body of the Cancerian mother, oh, hello, Daddy. Woo, Sun Daddy. Oh my God, Shine. Without you, I forgot why divine mattered. Woo! Thank you, Leo, for that leadership. Why it even matters. Woo! The heart of the matter. The heart of the matter. Because otherwise, it's just matter, which means mother, mater. But without the light, lighting it up. Oh my God, Mama's on tonight. Woo! Take the pain away from Mama. Thank you, Daddy. Every sun king inside of us and outside needs to be lit up, needs to be in love. We need to be lit up. Healthy fire. Thank you, Leo. Healthy fire, healthy desire, healthy expression, creativity, play. Yes, wild thing. Yes, come here to slay. Thank you for your leadership, Leo. All that you must get out there and all the fans you must have, it does fan the flame of why we're here. Without you, it doesn't grow. It's just matter. It doesn't matter, right? So thank you for mattering, for remembering we do, and being that leadership. There's a kid self that's like, this is what I want to be when I grow up. And the part of Leo that's a leader is like actually doing it. Thank you, Leo, for being able to be the dream. It's come here to serve. Such leadership. Literal leadership comes from our Leo. We need to sink into that and really, yeah. Thank you. And Virgo. Thank you, Virgo, for the leadership of refinement, of being a glowing cloud forest, of some eccentric librarian of the universe and the gods, something too good for this earth that did land anyways and has to deal with the mirth of that curse, like of the physical, and to transmute your divinity into every moment constantly is such a task of leadership. You do make everything you touch better. You are that Midas king that does make it all gold, and it's hard. And so you deal with that. And thank you for the leadership of taking on the hardest things that no one else wants to. It doesn't even know what's going on and is left out and that other people see and go over. You just can't help it because your mercy field is so strong, you're so divine that you cannot help let one life not be unified. And so you deal with dirty work. Thank you for that leadership being an expression of limitation and elegance and extreme grace. And for being a healer, literally the priestess usually. So thank you for that part that can hold a ritual, Virgo. Knows how to give structure to divine order. You're like Mary Poppins, one of my favorite heroes. Helping us do the sacred here. And thank you next to Libra for being that vision of balance, that visionary. Oh, so sexy. Oh, so beautiful. Just being visionary beauty. Thank you for that divine service of just being that. Period. I know it's stressful because the world's not, right? And you're fixated on that. But when you get over that, oh my God, and just be yourself. Wow. Thank you for being that reminder of the adjustment we all need to be this divine harmony. Thank you for being harmony itself. Thank you. Thank you for being this elegance of beauty, of non-duality, of it bridged in this swishy wish that you come here to be. Thank you for the art you do, for all the reminders that we just are art. Thank you. For all of the romance, for all the romantic notions that will not die. Thank you for your chivalry, your theatrical spirit. Thank you. Your big, loving, crushing heart. Thank you for bringing it into a relationship and for craving that, serving it. Thank you to Scorpio for being a visionary leader of a new world, literally seeking it, not compromising, no crumbs, going through every death and every moment to maintain that position of truth. Visionary truth, demanding more. What is that? What is that work you express, that beauty? New beauties that contain all uglies, everything. You are a community of other worlds unto yourself. Thank you for the leadership of that, Scorpio, for holding infinite potential, for being that gate to other worlds. Every stubborn way you lead protects the most infinite graces and possibilities. Thank you for being that gate to a new religion as one dies. Thank you for being that paradox. Thank you, Sagittarius, for the wake that you hold after Scorpio dies, because it's the best part of life. The party there in that deep space, and you are so deep in the love that you love with there. That's you channel in that wake energy that's awakened. Thank you, Awakener, Sagittarius. Thank you for the best parties of the year around Christmas. You know, all those gathered all together and blow it out before it's over. Spend all the taxes. Spend the tax money so you don't pay it. Give it away, right? Generous. So generous, Sag. You're like Scrooge when you realize, oh my god, what am I living for? You just like gave it all away and made a new economy. Oh my god, I'm emotional today. Holy shit. It's good to cry. I actually really do pray for new economies. I literally actively do, and I have for years. I pray that we take over with the garden, rebuild it back. I pray for different economic systems and what we'll do, because I'm a healer and I'm a gardener and I can see what we'll do. I'm so excited. Because we'll be like partying like Sages and we'll be like giving it all away. Feasting. What the heck? It's so good when I let Sag take over. Thank you, Sag, for holding the wake. Where we are dying. We are getting to the point in the world where we're really facing serious transformation and death. I'm excited for the Sagittarian element of awakening. In this wake, we get to hold this connective grief ritual and really party and redistribute and just like think generously and fun like Sag. Oh my god. I'm so excited. It's getting more like that, okay? RuPaul has their whole thing and then spreading and like gay TV, okay? So we're getting there. It's the new religion to be nurtured this way. Thank you, Sag, for your leadership of the new religion. Take care of life in this divine queer party of generosity. Thank you. And thank you, Capricorn, for holding the old way, holding the mountain, holding that which has been, holding continuity amidst all this change. And I know that you're the only one that ever could. You're the one that holds the dark. And that is nourishing and it's infinite. And I'm grateful that I've learned to die into you regularly as a peaceful act of surrender, like a nonviolent pacifist activist, right? Like some of our most famous police people, like Barry Rustin, who learned from Gandhi, who taught MLK, who, you know, Rosa Parks, like Harriet Tubman. We have a lot of people who they chose to die, they chose to sacrifice, they chose to go nonviolently, they chose to help others get out from violence. Thank you for everybody, you know, in the Underground Railroad of all wars. They're still happening. Thank you for that which holds life in its darkness. Sturdy, like really gets you through. And thank you to the old religions and old structures that do hold that for us. The old knowings of the traditional medicine of old, it holds me through change. Thank you for that which holds me through change, and these traditional wisdoms of the mountains and in my cells and of all the wisdoms that we do still have the forms of, and they hold me through change. They are the parts still undergoing change, but they are happily so, because they've always been that. And so I'm happy to know them, these parts that are the knowings that hold change, that are the unchanging ones, really, kind of darkness, finite reality. Thank you. So grounding gravity. Thank you. That black hole that holds the center of the universe. Thank you. Every dark moon and solstice gate. Thank you, Capricorn, for your leadership of this sober place of return to gestate. Perfect. Oh, nourishing dark. Surrender. Beauty. Life growing there in the unseen. Non-doing. Oh, undoing. Oh, so beautiful. Sleep. Night. So beautiful. Thank you, Capricorn, for your leadership. So deep. Mighty, this everlasting form. We make a wish in the dark that does become the light. So thank you for being that wish. the unknown, holding that so strong, holding that space. Thank you for Aquarius for being the leadership of that winking eye and that spark of truth that does rise out of the divine, awakening and the quickening after that wish, that little wish going pew, that comes out of the dark, that star landing that becomes the sun. Thank you, Aquarius, for being that wish begun and that seed of potency, like a star on the earth. Thank you for that star quality in us all. Visionary one. Thank you, finally, to Pisces for being the place we die to our egos fully and come into relationship with everything. Thank you for your leadership that most people don't see because this process looks like a lot of our humbling sicknesses and sanities, things that are gooey, like the gooey part of the chrysalis and the butterfly. But thank you for being that process of cocoon and butterfly and chrysalis, that transformation station, Pisces, where we become whole. The ego finally sees and becomes in relationship with everything. Thank you for that leadership. Back to healing and magic as a way to lead and to relate to hidden magics and emotions and that which is undoing and forming a wholeness there in that. Getting everything through loss. It's just strange. Giving it relating to that which is hidden. I love it. I love you, Pisces. Anyways, thanks for all these kind of leaderships and for coming with me and just being this ritual remembering. Uh, Bless the bees. Blessed be by the power of Bridget and the bees and the eagle flying free. Spirit work through me and spirit work through we. And keep it real. Check out my info if you want a session with me, a reading, or study more animist astrology, queer star magic, and traditional medicine. Take care. Be well.